They counting me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Diffuse, mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Used to lose, built to win, applied myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, apply myself.
Welcome back to CTC. I am your gracious host, Carl, and I'm here for our last week of the regular season recap. And what a phenomenal season we had. We have three undefeated Power 5 schools. I don't think we have any undefeated group of 5 schools. Oh, no, Liberty. Liberty's an undefeated group of 5 school. Got Liberty as an undefeated group of 5 school. I believe 3 undefeated Power 5 schools. Yeah, Florida State. No, 4. Michigan, Florida State, Georgia, and Washington. 4 undefeated Power 5 schools, 1 undefeated group of 5 school being Liberty. What a phenomenal season. And we're about to move on to championship week. But before we do that, I'd like to ask you to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share the video, not just on my show, but all the other shows on this network. Got the Refuse to Lose main show featuring Joe, Tomo, and Dave. We got BWT Baseball with Teddy, FFC Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs. We got the Joe Jordan Show. We got the Dave's Doghouse. We got Real Ballers Only, and we got In the Red Corner, which I believe In the Red Corner is going live tonight. So just stay tuned for that. But like I said, man, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share. It helps the network grow. And if you we ask that you listen to a couple videos, go down the rabbit hole, and if you like what you're listening to, stick with us. Now, my first game we had was the Egg Bowl, Thanksgiving Day battle of Will Rogers and Jackson Dart, which Will Rogers has allegedly entered the transfer portal. That's huge. I'm not the biggest Will Rogers fan, but I do see the talent there. But it's a pretty big pickup for a program that may deem themselves a quarterback away. But let's get into it. So Ole Miss, 12th ranked Ole Miss beats Mississippi State at Mississippi State to win the Egg Bowl to go 10-2. They went 17-10. So short little preview here. Recap here. Wasn't too much, obviously, with the score being 17-7. Mississippi State would start with a 3-and-out punt. Ole Miss would start with a punt. And then with 8:23 left in the second quarter, Ole Miss would finally break the drought with scoring a 36-yard field goal set up by Quinshon Judkins' 20-yard run. Then with 15 seconds left in the second quarter, Mississippi State misses a 42-yard field goal right before the half. Ole Miss will start the second half with a 3-and-out punt, while Mississippi State will start with his only score of the day, being a 1-yard Will Rogers touchdown run, set up by Xavier Thomas' 22-yard catch. Ole Miss would then answer with a 2-yard Quinshon Judkins touchdown run, set up by Quinshon Judkins having 5 carries and 38 yards prior to the touchdown run. Then Ole Miss will score a 26-yard Caden Priestcorn 26-yard touchdown catch. No, that was set up. It was a beautiful play. I think it was like a play action. He was running down the scene wide open. Jackson Dart just hit him in stride for a tug. And that was set up. Oh, that wasn't really set up by anything. And it was 6:28 left in the fourth quarter. Mississippi State would miss a 50-yard field goal, which would lead to a 3-and-out punt. Then Mississippi State will have a turnover on downs, 4th and 7 pass incomplete, will lead to the end of the game. My takeaways from this was Ole Miss actually played really good defense for a chance, but I honestly think that Mississippi State's offense was a struggle bus throughout the entire year. So losing Will Rogers will be huge to this program. They're desperately going to have to find a quarterback. Just Ole Miss, great season, another 10-win season for Lane Kiffin and the boys. Man, what more can I say? Just if they were in any other conference, they might have a chance for a conference championship. But since they're stuck in this crazy SEC West, they lost to Bama. So Bama already clinched. 10-2 is great, though. They'll have a great bowl game. Lane Kiffin deserves a lot of credit. Jackson Dart has been huge for this program. I love Jackson Dart when he was at SC. I thought he should have been starting over Keaton Slovis, and now he's in the SEC doing his thing. I'm so happy for the boy. Great game. They didn't have to score much to win the game, but hey, as long as you get the win, you win the Egg Bowl. That's all that matters. Moving on, we have a battle for the AAC championship game. Winner would more than likely play SMU. Well, now for sure, we know today, winner plays SMU. And, by the way, I picked Ole Miss to win that. And so Tulane, UTSA at Tulane, I picked Tulane to win, and they went 29-16 without Jaquan Jackson and Lawrence Keys. Both being hurt. We'll remain to see, or we will try to follow to see if they will play in the AAC championship game against SMU. But 23rd ranked Tulane gets the dub. Now, UTSA will start with a Frank Harris interception, and I told y'all, man, Frank Harris, it depends on when Frank Harris we get, whether UTSA will win. Frank Harris, I believe, threw 2 picks. Yeah, he threw 2 picks. The first pick led to a 7-yard Chris Brazell touchdown catch. He made a bunch of contested catches this week, Friday. Chris Brazell had a pretty good game. Then UTSA Frank Harris would then again throw another interception, but this one would lead to a Michael Pratt sack fumble, which would lead to a Rocco Griffin 23-yard touchdown run to tie the game. But then with 14:08 left in the second quarter, UTSA would score a 40-yard field goal to go up. Then Tulane would answer with a 47-yard field goal of their own, set by Mekhi Hughes' 30-yard run. Mekhi Hughes had a really good game on the ground. Tulane would score a 26-yard field. 26-yard field goal to go up, set by Mekhi Hughes' 58-yard run. Then Kavorian Barnes would fumble. It was a nice, strong run by Kavorian Barnes, but he tried to, you know how you try to move the pile, but, them guys are holding you up so somebody could come in and strip the rock. And that's what happened. They stripped the rock. And he fumbled, and it led to a 2-yard Mekhi Hughes touchdown run. Then UTSA would run a fake field goal on 4th down. It would lead to the tight end throwing a pick on a fake field goal, which would lead to a 23-yard field goal. Then Tulane would start the second half with a 3-and-out punt. UTSA would start with a punt. Then Robert Henry would fumble himself, which would lead to a punt. UTSA turnover on downs, 4th and 4. Pass incomplete leads to a punt. Then another turnover on downs, 4th and 1. Passes incomplete leads to a 3-yard Chris Brazell touchdown catch, but the 2-point would be no good. The UTSA would score his only touchdown in the second half with a 9-yard Oscar Correndez touchdown catch. The 2-point would be no good, and that'd be your ball game. So UTSA turnovers lost in the game. They had 5 turnovers. Frank Harris had 2 picks. Robert Henry had a fumble. Rocco Griffin, I believe, had a fumble. You had the pick on the fake field goal. Then you have 5 classified turnovers with 2 turnover on downs. So technically 7. You're not going to win a game like that, especially not against a good Tulane team that's battle tested. Michael Pratt, the veteran leader that he is. I hate using the word veteran in college, but I don't have a word for it. So the veteran leader that he is. Rocco Griffin didn't have a fumble with Kavorian Barnes. Kavorian Barnes and Robert Henry both fumbled. But yeah, 7 turnovers, you're not going to win a game like that. I don't care who you play. You had the other team would have to be a struggle bus on offense to lose a game. We have technically 7 turnovers. I know it's 5 plus the 2 turnover on downs. But man, Tulane looking prime to win the American Conference, going against a really good SMU team. That's going to be a really good game. I can't wait to watch that. But moving on, we got 2 blowouts. I'm not really going to – I have stuff written up. I'm not going to talk about them that much. Oregon State, 7. I know I picked Oregon State to win this game too, thinking it's civil rivalry. Oregon State got a pretty good defense. I know Oregon's been on a tear since losing to Washington, but this game, it don't matter. But this year I was wrong. It mattered because Oregon dominated Oregon State 31-7. Now, Oregon State would score its lone touchdown. Shoot, let's see. I believe somewhere in the first half. In the first half after a missed Oregon field goal. But Oregon, man, like I said, they was on a tear. They started with a touchdown to Bucky Irvin. Then they were after the missed field goal, 41-yard touchdown to Troy Franklin. Then they would score again to Tez Johnson. A field goal. Then Jordan James got in on a touchdown fun. Oregon just dominated. The offense was moving the ball up and down the field, taking a lot of time. Oregon State offense was not very fluid. Oregon State really couldn't get much going for real. it just, man, Oregon's been looking like one of the best teams since losing to Washington. Defense has been firing. Offense has been firing. Bo Nix has looked amazing. Man, it's hard pressed for me to see what game Oregon loses. Now, Oregon versus Washington in the Pac-12 championship should be fireworks again. Should be fun on a neutral site. I'm excited for that game as well. I can't wait for that one. I know Oregon, not last year, but was it 2 years ago, lost to Utah in the Pac-12 championship. But Bo Nix wasn't there. So that should be fun. I can't wait. So we're going to move on to another blowout. Again, I have stuff written up, but I'm going to just talk a little bit about it. Texas Tech 7 to Texas 57. Now, I picked Texas to win, but I thought Texas Tech would maybe be able to keep it a little closer. Boy, was I wrong. Texas was moving the ball up and down the field. Most of the time when Texas didn't score, it's probably because Texas made a mistake more so than Texas Tech forced something. Now, Texas Tech did get that one interception in the end zone, and I feel like that was a Texas Tech turnover, like they forced that. But for real, Texas, they got whatever they wanted. They could run the ball. They could throw the ball. Quinn Ewers was making plays. Now, I believe Quinn Ewers threw 2 picks, if I'm not mistaken. I believe Quinn Ewers threw 2 picks. But, again, was able to move the ball up and down the field. Texas Tech, they struggled to move the rock. Texas Tech's strength is Taj Brooks. Now, Taj Brooks got it going. Like, he did his own thing. He was able to break large runs at times. But for the most part, Texas contained Taj Brooks, made Barron Morton have to beat them. And Barron Morton, man, he was just out there. If he didn't, it looked like he was throwing gifts. I don't have the exact interception number in front of me, but I believe Barron Morton threw 3, and he should have thrown more. I'm going to look real quick for y'all, but Barron Morton just looked bad this game. It did not look good for him. Looked rattled. Texas dominated, led by Jalen Ford as always. Sweat, the D lineman, I can forget his first name. Big number 93, Sweat, man. Great game. He had a batted ball. He tried to pick. Sweat is a force on that D line. I've been noticing a couple games. He's actually a force there. So, but Texas, great win by them. They improved to 11-1. They face Oklahoma State in the Big 12 championship game. It's going to be fun to see Ollie Gordon versus that Texas run defense. Who's going to give? Ollie Gordon has been on a tear. He's in major performances, as you may or may not have guessed. And you know why if you watched college football last night. But it's going to be fun. Allen Bowman, it's going to be fun to see if he throws 2, 3 picks. I know he's going to throw 1 against this Texas defense. But how many picks will Allen Bowman throw? And can Texas capitalize on said interceptions? But, yeah, the Friday night games, snooze fest, blowouts. But Texas Tech and Oregon State both are bowl eligible. Barron Morton threw 3 picks, by the way. But, yeah, we're going to move on to Saturday. We had the rivalry game that made me upset. I'm not going to lie. I wanted Ohio State to win. I picked Ohio State to win because of that scoring defense. I know Michigan was 1. They're 2. And Ohio State loses on the road for Ryan's Day, 3rd straight year. 24-30, second-rated Ohio State goes down to 3rd-ranked Michigan. And Michigan is looking prime to make the playoffs now. Iowa doesn't have offense. They should dominate Iowa. I understand Iowa has a good defense, but Cooper DeJean out for the season. Huge blow. No offense. Michigan should win that game easily, but let's get into this actual game. So Ohio State will start with a 3-and-out punt. Michigan will start with a 3-and-out punt. And they actually both started punting the ball twice until Cal McClure served up an interception to Will Johnson. Now, I know I dislike Michigan. Dislike him. But I actually like Will Johnson at cornerback. I said it last year. I think he's a really good corner. He just jumped the slant route to Marvin Harrison, got a pick, took it down to the 5, and Michigan would capitalize with a 1-yard Blake Corum touchdown run. Ohio State would then answer with a 43-yard field goal set up by Marvin Harrison Jr., 24-yard catch. Then Michigan would answer with a 22-yard controversial Roman Wilson touchdown catch set up by Coastal Loveland, 16-yard catch. Now, I say it's controversial. I think it was a touchdown, to be honest. Some people said it was a pick. The ball got to Roman Wilson. In college, you only need 1 foot. I think he took like at least 3-4 steps before Denzel. I think it was Denzel Burke. Got the ball out of his hands and tried to make it look like he picked it. But by that time, Roman Wilson already crossed the goal line. I think it was a catch. He ran it in. Now, if he was at the 1, obviously, I think it was a strip fumble, but can't fumble beyond the power line, so I think it's a touchdown. Yeah, I could, in the comment section, you can leave your thoughts there. But that was set up. Oh, I said that already. Ohio State would then answer with a 3-yard Emeka Ibuka touchdown catch, which Ibuka on the first drive dropped a wide open. Well, he didn't drop a. Yeah, he dropped a wide open first down. Dropped a wide open first down, but he got a touchdown later on, and that was set up by Cade Stover, 32-yard catch. Then Ohio State would miss a 52-yard field goal right before the half. And in my opinion, this was Ryan Day's fault. Ryan Day was playing too conservative. He let the clock drip. He didn't try to get another first down. Didn't try to run another play to call the timeout. No. He just sat there and let the clock drip and missed a 52-yard field goal. Michigan would start the second half. And this is where the game basically ended. Michigan scored on every possession the second half. They would start with a 50-yard field goal set up by Colston Love and a 21-yard catch. Ohio State would tie the game with a 3-yard Travion Henderson touchdown run. Then Michigan would score a 22-yard Blake Corum touchdown run. Just got the outside and scored, beat everybody to the end zone. That was set up by AJ Barner, 18-yard catch. Then Michigan would score a 38-yard field goal set up by Colston Love and a 34-yard catch. Ohio State would answer with a 14-yard Marvin Harrison Jr. touchdown catch. That was set up by Julian Fleming, 28-yard catch. And then Michigan would take 7 minutes off the game clock to score a 37-yard field goal. And then Kyle McCord on a potential game-winning drive throws a pick, and that'd be a ball game. And again, Michigan, every time they touched the rock in the second half, scored. Found a way to score. Ohio State second scoring defense. You can't allow that to happen to give yourself a chance to win. And then allowing them to take 7 minutes off of the game clock when it was like 8 minutes and some change left in the game after Marvin Harrison Jr. scored. Unacceptable. And they were just running the rock for real. It's unacceptable by Ohio State. Ohio State defense was supposed to be that strength coming into this game. And they just wet the bed in the second half, and Michigan took advantage, and Michigan now wins to face Iowa in the Big Ten Championship game in Indianapolis. Man, it sucks for an MSU fan. That's all I can say. Moving on to Alabama at Auburn. 8th-ranked Alabama escapes the Iron Bowl, winning 27-24. I told y'all it does not matter the way these teams are playing when it comes to this Iron Bowl. It's going to be close, and Alabama should have lost this game. Honestly, Auburn choked the game away. Alabama should have lost, but they won. Keeping my national championship hopes alive. I did pick Alabama to win the Natty before the year started. The Alabama-Georgia game for the SEC championship game is huge. I think Alabama wins. They're in. But let's get into this one. So Auburn starts with 3-and-out punt. Bama starts with a 2-yard Roydale Williams touchdown run set up by Malik Benson, 33-yard catch. And then with 5 minutes left in the first quarter, Auburn scores a 4-yard Damari Austin touchdown run set up by Jaquez Hunter, 42-yard run. Excuse me. Alabama answers with a 32-yard field goal set up by Jermaine Burton, 18-yard catch. Then with 2:24 left in the same quarter, Auburn scored the Javarius Johnson 12-yard run set up by Damari Austin, 56-yard run. Then Alabama would answer with a 68-yard Jermaine Burton touchdown catch. And then Auburn's Peyton Thorne would throw a pick right before the half. But that'd be halftime. It was like a Hail Mary pick, I believe. Then, to start the second half, with Alabama would get a 22-yard field goal set up by an Amari Knee-Black 18-yard catch. Auburn would answer with a Javarius Johnson 27-yard catch, which was set up by Javarius Johnson 37-yard catch. So Javarius Johnson scored a 27-yard touchdown catch set up by a 37-yard catch by Javarius Johnson. Alabama would miss a 42-yard field goal, which would lead to an Auburn 21-yard field goal. And now we get to the controversy. So then Alabama, with 32 seconds left in the game, on 4th and goal from the 31. Yes, you heard me right. 4th and goal from the Auburn 31. Scores a 31-yard touchdown pass to Isaiah Bond on 4th and goal from the 31. Now, the reason why I got that far is because on 2nd and goal from like the 7 or like the 5, around that, there was a bad snap. Jalen Milroe had to fall on it by like 15, 20 yards away from the line of scrimmage. Then there was a penalty, I believe. I can't remember what the penalty was that pushed it back. 4th and goal, man. Milroe and Bond made a play. Auburn choked. Then on the ensuing drive, Peyton Thorne would throw a pick on the second play First play was sack. Second play was a pick. Threw it right to him. But, I mean, after the sack, they had no timeouts. They had nothing going. They were so far back in their own territory. He got hit as he threw that one. The ball popped in the air, landed right in Alabama's play a lap. I thought he ran it back for 6. He must have stepped out somewhere. I switched from it after that. But that'd be a ball game. Alabama survives, going 11-1 to still having a chance to make the playoffs. Now we'll move on to some Sun Belt implications. First game, this game, if App State won, JMU Coastal did not matter. No, it did matter. Excuse me. Coastal won. Then Georgia Southern App State didn't matter. But App State will win 55-27 at home. I picked App State to win the game. I felt like App State would win. I figured they would win, and they won in dominant fashion. Georgia Southern will start the game with a 3-yard O.J. Arnold touchdown run, set up by O.J. Arnold 39-yard catch. App State will start with a punt. Then here we go. Davis Brent. I said it in the preview. Got to stop throwing picks. Davis Brent throws an interception. Gets App State right back in the game. Leads to a 24-yard field goal. Then Georgia Southern will score a J.C. French 25-yard touchdown pass to Caleb Hood. With 7:35 left in the second quarter, App State will score a Caden Robinson 27-yard touchdown catch. Set up by Deshaun Davis 23-yard catch. Then Georgia Southern, Dalen Cobb fumbles, kick return, the next kick return, which leads to a 13-yard Kanye Roberts touchdown run. Georgia Southern then will answer with a 38-yard field goal, set up by J.J. McAfee 21-yard catch. App State will answer with a 41-yard Christian Howard touchdown catch. And then Davis Brin throws another interception right before the half, which leads to a 28-yard field goal by App State. App State will start the second half with Joey Aguilar throwing his interception. But then Davis Brin will say, I got y'all right back. Throws his third interception of the night, which will lead to an Eli Wilson 2-yard touchdown catch. Then App State would just go on to dominate the rest of the game. They would score a 15-yard Anderson Castle touchdown run. Then they would score a Caden Robinson 10-yard touchdown catch. Georgia Southern would then, on the next kick return, run it back 100 yards by DeAndre Buchanan and then score a 34-yard field goal. But App State would answer with a 27-yard Marquell Hayward touchdown run. And that'd be a ball game after 4th and 3, O.J. Arnold 2-yard run, turnover on downs. App State absolutely dominated the second half, and Georgia Southern's quarterback did them no favors, throwing 3 interceptions. I told you, I said Davis Brent will throw one. I didn't think he would throw 3. Man literally gave the game away, throwing picks. App State moves on to play Troy in the Sun Belt Championship game. Should be Troy and JMU again. I really wanted to see the rematch, man, but the NCAA denied the appeal. So we got App State and Troy instead. Should be a fun little game to watch, but we got to talk about our last game. And that was James Madison absolutely destroying Coastal Carolina. I have really no points about this game. JMU wins 56-14 to improve to 11-1, finishing off the year. I got a little surprise for y'all in a little bit, though, so don't worry about that. JMU will start with 2 punts, so they actually punted. Coastal Carolina fumbled the punt. JMU will pick up said fumble, but then they just punted again. But after that, their next 5 drives, they scored 4 touchdowns on 5 drives. The one drive that wasn't a touchdown was a pick. Jordan McLeod threw a pick. Coastal Carolina, they got shut out in the first half. They would go punt, turnover on downs, punt, fumble into half. Can't do that. But that's just how good the JMU defense is. Then JMU in the second half scores, again, 4 touchdowns on 5 drives. Now, the one drive they didn't score on was a punt, and that was like towards the end of the game. Coastal will score a touchdown in the third quarter and a touchdown in the fourth quarter. Really, the fourth quarter touchdown was a garbage touchdown. Really, both touchdowns was garbage. But in the third quarter, you can, trick yourself like, we scored. We can get back in this. We can still do this. Just got to get some stops. No. But, yeah, JMU dominated this game on the road. JMU treated this game like a championship game. Came out, obliterated Coastal, 11-1. But with this next section right here, JMU gets a bowl game. Not enough teams are eligible for bowl games, and I'll tell you why right here. So, remember, what was that? Wednesday, I had a segment where I talked about games with bowl implications. Well, here's the results. So for Friday, I went 4-0. We had TCU at Oklahoma. I had Oklahoma winning. They won the game. TCU needed to win to make a bowl. We had Iowa at Nebraska. I picked Iowa to win, 17th ranked Iowa. Picked Iowa to win. They won the game. Toledo at Central Michigan. I picked Toledo to win. They won. And Utah State at New Mexico was a barn burner, OT, but Utah State will win as I picked them to win. Now, out of those four, the only team to make a bowl was Utah State. TCU lost, did not make a bowl. Nebraska lost, does not get a bowl. Central Michigan lost, do not get a bowl. Now, for Saturday, there were 17 games with bowl implications on Saturday. I went 12-5 picking those. So Houston needed to win at UCF. I chose UCF to win. They won. Northern Illinois needed to win at Kent State. I chose Northern Illinois to win. They won. Rice, I don't know if they needed to win or not, again, because of the academic thing. But I just treated it like they needed to win. They won. I picked them to win. Wake Forest, no. Hold on. I believe Syracuse needed to win. I think Wake Forest was playing spoiler. But either way, I picked Syracuse to win and they won. Yeah, Wake Forest is playing spoiler. I picked Syracuse to win. They won at the Carrier Dome. So Georgia State, I picked them to win at ODU, and they came out to a hot start, but ended up losing. So that was an L there for me. Louisiana, I had them beating UL Monroe at home. They won. BYU at Oklahoma State, I picked Oklahoma State to win. BYU needed to win. They actually both needed to win. Oklahoma State needed it to be in the Big 12 championship game. They won. BYU doesn't get a bowl. Northwestern at Illinois. Illinois needed to win to get a bowl. I picked Northwestern to win. They won. Wisconsin needed the win to get a bowl. No, Minnesota needed the win to get a bowl. I picked Wisconsin to win, and they won. Virginia Tech. I did pick UVA to win. Virginia Tech needed to win to get a bowl. Virginia Tech dominated UVA, so that was an L for me. Marshall needed a win to get a bowl. They dominated Arkansas State, so I picked Marshall to win. They won. Washington State needed to win the Apple Cup to get a bowl, and they just narrowly lost to Washington. Picked Washington to win, so that's a W for me. FSU, Florida needed to win to get a bowl game. FSU won. Florida does not get a bowl game, so that's a win for me. USF needed to beat Charlotte. I knew Charlotte wasn't going to be able to put up the points. I picked USF. They won. Cal needed to beat UCLA. I picked UCLA at home. They got dominated at home. Cal wins, so that's an L for me. Colorado State. I picked Colorado State at Hawaii to win. They needed to win to get the bowl game. They lost. And Clemson, South Carolina. I picked South Carolina. I told y'all, forget Clemson. South Carolina fan. South Carolina lost, does not get a bowl game. So now, because of that, JMU and Jack State, the Jack State boys, I'm in Jack State this year. I root for Jack State. They both get bowl games. There's not enough teams to get that's bowl eligible. So because of that, they're allowed to play in the bowl games despite the moving up rule. So shout out to them. At least they stayed down to get a bowl game. Now, Jack State wasn't going to play in their conference championship regardless, but JMU was. But at least you get a bowl game. That's a nice little consolation. I know you want that Sun Belt Championship ring. I wanted it for y'all. Unfortunately, the NCAA is not going to allow y'all to have it, but you get a bowl game. Now, to our last segment, we have major performances. Now, for my major performances this week, I got like 14. I know I normally try not to go that high, but it was a bunch this week. So first, we got Gavin Sawchuk, 22 carries, 130 yards, 3 touchdowns for Oklahoma. You pair that with Drake Stoops, 12 catches, 125 yards and a tug for Oklahoma. Major performance. Penny Boone, 21 carries, 186 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Toledo. Major performance there. Cody Schrader of regular here, 27 carries, 217 yards, and a tug for the Mizzou. Major performance, major season for the Mizzou Tigers. Levi Williams, 25 carries, 153 yards, and 3 tugs for the Utah State Aggies. becoming bowl eligible. Major performance there. Malik Neighbors, a regular. He's my neighbor. 6 catches, 122 yards, 2 touchdowns, LSU. RJ Harvey, 21 carries, 136 yards, 2 tuds for UCF. Ayo Adeni, 18 carries, 132 yards, and 2 tuds for North Texas. Kyrie Robinson, a guy I really like out of San Jose State, 16 carries, 165 yards, and 2 tuds for San Jose State. Now, I'll get into that a little bit. Ollie Gordon, 34 carries, 166 yards, 5 touchdowns for 5. Let's not skip over that. 5 touchdowns. Oklahoma State scored 40 points. 5 touchdowns for Ollie Gordon. Oklahoma State major performance. Tateria McMillan, 11 catches, 266 yards, and a tud for Arizona, paired with Noah Fafita, 30 for 41, 527 yards, 5 tuds with 1 pick. Both Arizona Wildcats balled out. We got Abu Sama III, 16 carries, 276 yards, and 3 touchdowns for Iowa State in the snow. And finally, we got Kevin Concepcion, 7 catches, 131 yards, and 2 tuds for the NC State Wolfpack. Those are your major performances there. Now, before I go, I do want to talk about this Mountain West Conference championship game because, as you all know, we don't have a championship game set up yet. The game is coming later. There was a 3-way tie at first place between Boise State, San Jose State, and UNLV. Now, I would love to watch UNLV. I don't care who gets in as long as UNLV gets in. I want to watch UNLV in this championship. I need a Spartan to win something. Keon Coleman's in the ACC championship. I get it. But Jordan Travis is no longer there. Tate Rodemaker got hurt in the game against Florida. I don't know how bad that is. But I would love to see Ricky White and UNLV in that Mountain West championship game. We will find out later. There's supposed to be some computer-generated thing going on. I can't tell you too much. I've never heard of this in my life. But all I can tell you is the Mountain West Conference Championship game will be announced later on in the day. But with that being said, that's all I have for y'all today. And until next time, I don't know the next time I'll be going live. But until next time, I'm out. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.